All right, we add our welcome to Saddlebrook. One more time, the wonderful world of Archway convenes at one of America's premier resorts. In one form or another, we've held sales seminars for 36 years, and they certainly have reached maturity, haven't they? The old-timers will remember those hot and humid summer days in Battle Creek, and now we've come to Saddlebrook in January. In the immortal words of Virginia Slims, we've come a long way, baby. That's appropriate, too. After all, our sales seminar is our Super Bowl of annual sales meetings. We have many new faces in our group, so we want to take a minute to tell them about these gatherings. It's a time for celebration and rest and relaxation. It's a time for review of problems past and successes scored. It's a time for preview of things to come. Each of us here has something to teach and much to learn. And we have all learned to live with very rapid changes in this business climate of ours. Sometimes this has been more than just disconcerting. A story that we recently came across brings home this point. A young couple met with their pastor to set the wedding date. When the pastor asked whether they preferred a contemporary or a traditional service, they chose a contemporary service, which would permit the minister to ad-lib a little bit, to sort of make it a personal service. Well, on the big day, a major storm rolled in that created considerable flooding. On his way to the church, the groom had to stop, roll up his pants, and help several other guys move cars through the flooded area. In his haste, he pulled on his socks and shoes and forgot to roll down his pants. So he arrived at the last moment in the church. His best man rushed him into the sanctuary and then pushed him up to the altar just in time for the ceremony. Push down your pants. Push down your pants, whispered the pastor. What? Said the young man. I said, put down your pants, said the pastor. With that, the young man said, Reverend, I've changed my mind. I think we want the traditional service. I like that one. And listen, we recognize that feeling, don't we? When some of these chains are demanding a slotting allowance, the pre-promotion payments, advertising payments and the like, it seems like they're trying to get us to push down our pants. You know, at those moments, we too would like to return to the old traditional service. But such is not to be, excuse me, for time has marched on. And time doesn't just march on, it goes at more than double time rate. Instead, we find that our purposes at the annual staff meetings that your bakeries hold and at this national seminar include the development of new techniques for presenting acceptable allowances that will permit a decent profit still to be made. That's the only way that we can keep our operations viable, and we can keep all of you from having to seek positions as junior sales reps for Nabisco or Keebler. And we're going to do this. We're going to do this all the while retaining our traditional values. We will continue to make the finest home-style cookies that can be baked. We will never cheapen a product's quality in order to hit a price line. The elements are in position for an enviable future for Archway. We are basically a very healthy cookie product, which keeps us in the bullseye of America's attention these days. And the baby boomers, like it or not, are aging, and as they do so, their tastes mature, and more they discover Archway. They're headed our way. It's a time of transition in our land. Many areas in America are still deeply mired in recession. It ain't easy, but then if it were, anybody could do it. Like the time of the last recession, followed by the start immediately of the great cookie wars, it's another time for heroes. The heroes always emerge. They rise to the challenge and they achieve new heights that enable all of us and the company to grow dynamically. Look around you. Seated among us are many of the heroes of that previous period. These are the folks who have deserved to enter the spotlight. Distributors who have become staff men, DSMs who have become regional managers, and even some who have become general managers. It's the classic Archway and American success story. Who will be next in the spotlight? Take advantage of this situation. Our veterans are here from the trenches. Nail them. Find out how they made their breakthroughs. Remember, this is our version of the instant replay. On Sunday, then, take as much information as you have gleaned here, go home, and really get into the game as Archway moves on into the 90s. Our spotlight of success will mark your progress. Great to be with you.